What I also talked about was blocking the hard cam. Uh, this is something that again we are gonna be talking about later on. Uh, Mainly, this goes for the lane dominators. You absolutely, in every single game, you have to block the hard cam. You have to, and there is absolutely no going around that. And there is only one really, really simple and really good reason. You are really, really bad at contesting pulls. Really bad. Because yes, you are usually a bully and stuff like that, but once you miss a timing and the enemy support pulls, you are really bad at contesting that, because you have to realize that there are enemy creeps that also will do damage to you. And it is really, really hard to contest the stacks. Mainly also because you don't have any AoE spell usually to use to help you clear those out. And let's find out who are we up against. Tide is here that I can see. The support is where and who. That's the question I care about. Dazzle. Okay, perfect. So in this case the stick, I mean, it helps, but it's not really doing as much as I would like it to do. This Dazzle is probably dying. Yes. So what I can see, and what you need to realize as well as lane dominators, you need to realize one really, really important thing. You are strong and you can do a lot, but against unconventional heroes like Dazzle, for example, which is ranged versus melee, I need to be careful. Therefore, I need to realize when he makes a mistake and punish him for it. For example, this is the case. He oversteps, I have my leech seed, and Drow has the frost arrows. He dies. There is absolutely nothing he can do. I get a first blood, unfortunately, not for the Drow, so I got my boot. I mean, I'm happy, right? And then I'm not contesting the Drow with the XP. I'm just trying to deny, even though it's really hard for me, or should not be hard for me, but it is, because I'm playing really bad. I played really bad this game overall. But yeah. So now I wanted to look for a stack. So I'm just looking at the Drow, if she's fine. I didn't want it to do a double or like half pull. And I wanted to stack, yeah, 2k player right there, maybe even less. So then I talked about how idiotic I am and that I will have to sit on the lane, protect the Drow, because I cannot really pull, I cannot really do anything at this point. This is a ranged hero, so he's gonna be, you know, harassing me and stuff. So I cannot really take efficient trades versus Dazzle. That is important to know the matchup. At least a little bit, you know. You can for example utilize experience from offlane, which I did, for example. You know, I know how Dazzle usually plays. I know how aggressive those players usually are. Work with that, play around that. So Tide oversteps. Immediately I go on him, because I saw the Dazzle on the right side. So I have level 2 Nature's guy, or like level 2, which means I have Nature's guys. And I'm just gonna run down this Tide with the Drow. This is a kill lane, so I don't understand personally how this pull actually happened, because the Drow didn't did that. Probably the Dazzle did himself, or one of them. And again, just running him down, even getting a double kill, which is interesting, but sure. He got my courier for it, but I got his ops and a double kill, 3-0, like, this lane's perfect. For me, not for the Drow. Again, Tide comes around, oversteps. Yes, I'm just gonna punish you. Here, I think I misplayed. Let's see. Oh, I didn't. Okay, I thought I misplayed, but I didn't. I mean, maybe I sort of did, because I'm not sure. I decided to go level 2 Lee Seed, or level 3 Lee Seed to have it at level 2. Now that I'm looking back at it, it was a mistake. Uh, the question is if the draw would have been alive if I would have had the heal. What's the living armor? Yeah. I am not sure. She probably would, so I can probably say that is a mistake. I guess so. I'm a lot here, again just bullying out the Dazzle. He just tipped to the lane, he's level 2. I know my draw has silence. Here I waited and gave her the kill because I really need to start doing that. I'm 3-0, so she needs to be getting some kills. I figured out that I fucked up that I didn't block the hard cam, which is another thing, right? You need to be like at this point, it's not really that bad, but I should be aware of that usually. Yeah, Joe gets another kill, perfect. I don't really, for example, I don't really mind diving and even dying for that. If I would have died, I would say that's fine because the Joe gets the kill on the offlaner, and I do my job in order for her to get the kill, get the like we both get the XP, she gets the XP, but more importantly, if the Tide dies and I die, it means that the offlaner is not on the lane. He cannot really bully the draw, so she will have free farm. That's what I mean by it's okay with me to not die there. Here I overstep. I hit, so immediately I get tower aggroed, because why not, right? I know that I'm dead, most likely, even if I will use Fairy Fire and stuff. So I just pop a ward behind the tower. This guy's using Ravage. Okay, Ravage for me. I take that. I fucked up there. It's not a question. I did, but I mean, Ravage for a boss fight? Sure, I'll take that every single day, actually. And it's not good by any means, but at least he was forced to use Ravage, let's put it that way. Just to kill me, I'm like, alright, sure. Funny thing is, if I would have used the Fairy Fire, I'm probably living. But it's okay. The top tower died. Now, something that I talked within the game is how good or it's not that bad because he was forced to use Ravage. I kinda agree with that, but the situation would not happen if I wouldn't make the bad play in the first place by hitting him under the tower and taking the tower aggro. The only reason why he did that was that the tower aggroed me. Uh, so that is a mistake. The fact that he was forced to use Ravage is kind of a good thing and kind of a bad thing. It is a bad thing because he doesn't really get a chance to use it anyway. So him using it at that scenario is actually relatively okay. Uh, the good thing about that is that now he has 2 minutes out of Ravage, or maybe even a bit more, right? What is the cooldown? It is 150. Yeah, so 2 minutes without Ravage, and the draw is completely safe. This is what I was kind of wanting to say, and I didn't. That like I know this stuff, but I just didn't set it. But this is what I'm thinking about. Like when the Ravage or big spell like this is used, that means that my carry is safe there. So that's that. Next, we're just gonna move bottom. Like first of all, the tower died, so my job on that lane is basically over. I got a tome for myself because I was thinking that first of all, I saw that the snap was pretty close to level 6, and second, I also was thinking that I can do a lot with the ultimate on the bottom, which is what happened. We get 2 kills on the supports. We bully the Jack out of the lane, which is also very important. And we get a free tower at some point with the next guy. At this point, I'm deciding It is actually pretty much, or almost at the same time. It's around those 15 minutes. I'm deciding on the item that I wanna build. Uh, the item in this game, or the decisions, for example, with Treant are a bit wider than Undying. So first I need to analyze the enemies. Again, same stuff. I need to analyze my teammates. I need to analyze what's good, what's bad. Uh, that goes with all the heroes on all positions. You know, always. With Treant, like I said, I think after the game, I said it. I will put it here. Um, it is 4 items that I can build. I can go for Meteor Hammer. I can go for Shard. I can go for Mech, or Blink. Not Mech, Blink, and I can go for Holy Locket. What is my hero's strength? I need to look at. My hero's strength is living armor. If I'm gonna look at the enemy team, who's hitting the towers? The only one who actually literally is hitting towers is Jack. The Tide can sort of do that because he can push out the creep wave, and the Pack can sort of do that because he can push out the creep wave. The other 2 supports are pushing out the creep waves kinda as well, but their damage is not that sufficient on towers. Uh, the second strength is my ultimate, so I can play around 2 things, either my ult or my heal. The thing I decided to go for in this game is heal. Why? Because Jack likes to have open map. Puck likes to have open map. These heroes play around an open map really well. It is some sort of like anti-mage, you know? Anti-mage doesn't like to be stuck in his own jungle for 30 minutes or 40 minutes. He likes to be pushing creep waves, pushing towers. Treant prevents this with living armor. You prevent the other heroes from pushing lanes, from pushing towers, because you are keeping them alive, and therefore you are doing something what's called turtling. You are turtling and you are stalling the game, which is something that's really good for us because we have really good late game. So I decided to go for that because the enemy heroes really like to play on an open map. If I'm able to close the map virtually, not close the map literally, because that would mean we would have to be dominating. For now we kind of are, but yeah. Virtually closing the map means keeping the towers alive, so keeping sort of a stable status on the map. And that way, if I close the map, the enemies are gonna feel really uncomfortable and they will be forced to make a lot of plays. So that's what I decided. What helps me with that is Holy Locket. Not just with that, but mainly with the fact that I can heal my teammates. And with the Holy Locket, it's gonna be even better. So I decided to transition myself into a healer, which in this game worked out pretty well. Yeah. So here is another fight. They decided to use coil on me and Grandma. I got 3-man ult off. Yes, the Puck killed Step, but we got 2 supports. So essentially it was a coil for my ult and then Spectre ult. Us getting 2 supports and them getting only 1. And now we are pretty much back to the same stuff. We are plus 5. We won the lane with draw. It was pretty nice. And now what we have to do is just focus on what we are good at. So I'm building Holy Locket because in this game I don't think we are gonna be, or I'm gonna be in need of buying Meteor Hammer. I'm not gonna be really in need of buying any sort of uh, mobility item like Blink. I'm not gonna be needing to initiate because we are very fine, I think, playing for late game. It's not good, but it's not that bad either. So mainly I'm just gonna be chilling. And trying to heal the towers, because keeping the towers alive versus Jack is gonna be the most important thing for me. Next up, I think I'm either gonna go mech or I'm gonna go shard. I will decide a little bit later which one is better. Yeah, and I'm just staying here, keeping myself out of danger, not dying, which is really important. As soon as I die, I usually will be, or the tower will usually get pushed. Yeah, here the draw got run at with smoke, and this is what I mean. If you are playing Turtle Strat like this is 17 minutes, and they did not get a tier 1 tower. This is what happens usually when I call this like a choke decisions. You know, they usually work out, but yeah, this is what you will force the enemies to do at some point. If you are playing turtle slot, for example, like this is very specific. But what usually happens is that the enemies suddenly feel pressure, a lot of pressure, because they cannot breathe on the map. The map is closing for them, and they cannot do what they wanna do. It means running around, pushing lanes, getting into tier 2 area. You know, Jack wants to do that because he has spin TP. Puck wants to do that because he has, face shift. He has illusory orb, so he feels really elusive. They want to do that, but they can't. So they do the only thing that they literally can do: smoke and go find a kill, which would open up the map. Which is what happens, you know? Joe dies, I die, and look at the enemies immediately. Bottom tower is gone. In the meantime, another fight happening top. I TP'd, used ult, rooted Puck, but Snapfire decided to ult the Puck more rather than the Tide. Oh, then we still got it. Ravage used. And we got the entire team wipe. I even baited Omni. I knew I'm gonna survive that, so... because we can tank it together. It was a lot of damage, don't get me wrong, but we were able to survive that. And then just transition into a rush, that's fine. So next item I was just debating which item I can go for. I was thinking that I'm probably just gonna get Arcane Boots again, and because I really need the mana. Here I used my ult, got only one hero. Amazing. But we forced the Ravage, still got 2 supports. My level 2 nature guys got a kill. And she's dead. So there's literally nothing I can do. And here, I actually decided on my next item, which was 4 staff. And here, I wanna showcase how, when you are playing Turtle Set, how important it is for you to be alive. Let's just watch that, because it's really funny for me. Our teammates even use a glyph, which was not needed. We could have saved the glyph, just in case, you know? But, yeah, I mean, the tower, sure, like, took some damage, but... suddenly it's fine. Like, the Jack wasn't even able to push it alone. So here, I just healed the snap because I was like, I'm just gonna give him time. Going to try to hunt down the Puck. I actually wanna see, I didn't get him, I just wanna see where he went. Oh, he blinked out, right? I assume. Yeah. Probably did. Oh, he didn't even blink. Okay, so maybe if I would continue, I would maybe get him. Maybe. But it's alright. So another one team fight, and again, you know, what did the enemy did? It is the same thing. They feel choked. They feel choked, really choked. So they wanna breathe on the map. They wanna create space for themselves. They smoke and go for a kill. Who do they find? Snapfire. And they still die with 2. So I'm gonna be still using or buying the 4 staff here. This is really interesting. Still don't understand how did they saw me, because they actually have no vision whatsoever within trees. So it is really interesting for me, but that's fine. And then there is a fight where I wanna showcase how bad I actually am. So I saw the pack, right? I was like, he doesn't see me, that's fine. I can ult him immediately after. Yes, for sure. Well, nope. Fight was poorly played by me. Really, really poorly. It resulted in Spectre having to buy back, and yes, we got the kills afterwards. Drow died. We got a team vibe, but man, I played that fight really bad. Anyway, you might be thinking about why do I still have Tumblr's toy? I've talked about it within the game as well. But the Tumblr's toy, since I don't have the blink, the additional, jump is really, really good for me. And if I'm gonna look at the other items, the only other item that I can actually use is the Blast Rig, which is better than the Tumblr's toy. The Vembrace not so much, actually. But my explanation within the game also was, if I'm gonna jump or if I'm gonna get jumped, I'm dead none the fucking less, whether I have Blast Rig or not. Because most of their damage is burst magic and armor reduction from Tide. So the additional armor is nice. The like blindness, or what is the effect? Whatever. Like that is also nice, but I should not be the one who should have this. It should be like grandma, silencer maybe. Not me, because even though I'm in front, I usually, what I also said, I usually get my spells off, which is true. I usually do get my spells off because I'm not being focused. I don't really need that item. In here, I'm just defending the tower again. Just this is what I decided to do. This is the gameplay of the tree end in this game that I decided to do. Just turtle this, like heal the towers, keep the towers alive, because the enemies are gonna feel choked. The map is gonna close out for them, and it did. You know, thanks to the fact that I defended the towers, it gave us a lot of time. The smokes are limited, also. So yes, they might have them still because they used only two, so they should still have at least one or two, maybe even three. But uh, they feel choked, and suddenly they cannot really do and make the play that they did before with the smoke, because if you're gonna look at the map, where are your theater towers? And at this point, it is basically the same. What I could have done and what I should have done in this scenario was something that I will do a little right now. I used the tumbler toy anyway, so I should have kept the ward and placed it. The only problem is they saw me, so I immediately get jump scared. I was like, whatever, I'm in a good spot. See, I wouldn't be able to do that if I wouldn't have the tumbler toy. With the force stuff, yes, but I would cut the trees and it would be even more obvious. The fact that I did it this way, yes, I'm an idiot, but that's me being an idiot. That's me not me making a bad play. That's me being an idiot and making it look like a bad play. That's the difference. Oh, and then the rest is very simple. Like we just get the Raxes as a fight. Sure, Aegis dies, and Snap dies, but otherwise we are able to fight around again, nearly getting a team wipe, and then they call it GG. And they had 5 stack, which is a funny thing. So we played that against 5 stack, and I actually played with a 4 stack. So yeah, I will bump up the audio again to those 35%. So uh, here again, summary is what I said with the Undying. My laning stage was really, really good. How to transition from that? I need to analyze. I need to figure out what is good, what's gonna help me. In the Undying game, it was the Glimmer Cave because that allowed us to fight properly and helped us with their magic damage. What in this game I decided to do was very similar. I see Jack, I see Puck. What those heroes typically like, if you're gonna just think about it a little bit, what do those heroes do in your games? Those heroes push the lanes, and they are usually in like the tier 2 towers, pushing out the creep waves. You see them doing that and blinking out and Blade Fury tipping out and shit like that. You see them doing that every single game. If they cannot do that, you break their gameplay. And you break the player's gameplay. And this is something that the tree, for example, is really annoying with. That not a lot of people know how to play the game because they are usually playing on autopilot. Because the game usually plays itself. As soon as there is a hero that breaks the game, they don't know what to do. And this is, for example, what happened, as I said. The enemies feel choked. They feel that they're losing the game, that the map is getting shorter, which is, I mean, not really the case. They can still go and push if they decide to. They just don't want to decide. They just don't want to go with 5 people and push a tier 1 tower. And you break the game that way. you know and that's what I mean with the lane dominating. You need to figure out what is your hero strength and what you can do after. Treant has 2 strengths. One is ult, the second one is living armor and turtling. I decided to go for turtling because it's better for me. I can build a holy locket, which helps me with that. I can heal people around the map, which the holy locket helps with as well. It's more healing. And on top of that, I can execute the turtle strat, which breaks the enemies. And even if they played it correctly, which would be to go like with 3 people and push the tower, maybe even 4, even if they would do that, it is still good because I'm gonna waste their time, and that's not what they wanna do. No? So abusing the strengths, like that. For example, another thing that I shouldn't have done, build the shard. I should have had the glimmer and the force staff earlier than the shard, in my opinion. The blink probably should have got that because, as you could have seen, the ults weren't that good. So I think I could have had a lot better ultimates uh, if I would have had the blink. But then it would be a completely different game again. Blah blah blah. So in these scenarios, for example, with the Undying, with the Treant, I think I decided for a good, or I made good decision in terms of item build and in terms of gameplay, how I wanna play it out, considering the heroes we had, considering the heroes the enemies had, and executed it to an extent. I'm not saying it was good, most likely not, but to an extent.